So a comment was just left. And this comment, I love it when people do this. This comment was to offer advice and assistance to someone that had left a previous comment. And this person gave like 2 or 3 suggestions on how they can deal with stalkers. And she said that there's this person in her apartment complex that is just totally stalking her and going so far out of her way to be an annoyance. And, that she understands that some people think that, they have to dominate through fear. But that she doesn't really feel fear in this specific situation, but one of absolute annoyance. And so one of the suggestions she made to this other individual was to be proactive and, keep an account going. And, coming from a psychological perspective, that is true. Up to a certain point. Because, Stephanie the Seeker is a wonderful, wonderful resource for anyone that wants to get some solace and some understanding of stalking, because she's been through it. She had her car set on fire, and she literally just left her 3-bedroom house with a backpack and her dog. The stalking was so bad, all the hacking of the laptops, the phones. Every day she'd come home, so on and so forth. But she says, that there's really a fine line, because she lived for that for years, and it led to her demise, because she took in all this documentation to the police, and they weren't even willing to look at it. They just wanted to say, unless someone assaults you, and who are these people that are breaking in your house and cutting your lines to your refrigerators over and over and over? Who breaks in and doesn't steal anything and just cuts your refrigerator lines over and over and over? And so it really doesn't make sense. But keeping maybe just, if you just are dealing with one real asinine person, like in this situation, an apartment complex, and they're going far, far out of their way to annoy you 24/7, like I've been dealing with for 7 years now. Literally 7 years, I always have someone that's just hell-bent 24/7 on taking my peace. Isn't it funny that 7 years ago is when I came back to the Lord? So, all of these things, nothing's random. Everything happens for a reason. But you can go too far. Like me, for instance, the only thing I've really done is sought help from apartment management, no go, and then purchased a camera. But for some reason or another, because of my stalking, I guess, I can't get mail. Anytime I order something, it's like maybe a 20% chance I'll get it. So, and then I'll call the company and they'll say, well, we have it documented as delivered on November 5th at 1:30 p.m. And I'll take that to the management and they'll say, well, we don't know what you're talking about. And so, and it happened at the last apartment complex too. I mean, I ordered some expensive motorcycle parts that just never came. And out of all the things I ordered, out of like 5 things, only 1 thing ever made it to my front door. And I ordered a camera, a tiny little indiscreet camera, because I have proof that people are breaking my apartment. And so I ordered this camera, paid for it, and it was delivered. It was sent out on October 15th. Here we are, November 13th or something, 14th. And it's very, very frustrating when this stalking is involving the courts, the postal service, your apartment complex. It has more to do with the apartment complex, if I had to guess, than how I can never get packages delivered. But, so, what I'm saying is guard your peace, Because if you don't guard your peace, you lose everything. So if you can document all this stuff. Good morning. Can I have a senior coffee, please?
Okay.
Black.
Okay.
Thank you. That's it.
All right, 87 cents, second window, please.
Okay. So, the first and foremost is guarding your peace. And if you can document some of the most important stuff, still maintain peace, but also get the psychological benefits of knowing that you're being somewhat proactive and not just a sponge absorbing any and all abuse anyone wants to dish out to you, right? That's not a healthy mindset. And so that's why being somewhat proactive is healthy psychologically, because you're not just sitting there taking it. Thank you, sir, may I have another? Thank you, sir, may I have another? No, you're documenting it, and you're thinking about the plan that you're going to use this documentation with. But just know ahead of time that if you're seriously stalked and it involves, several different departments and agencies and apartment management, basically your documentation is only for your own mental health. I mean, getting anything on camera is good, but I mean, look at me. I'm out $59, and I'm never going to get that money back. I'm never going to get the camera. I'm never going to get the money. It's just, and acceptance, radical acceptance is always the best path to travel when you're coming up against really, really hurtful and damaging things that change your mindset and change your overall cognition on how you're looking at your life situation. So that's it on that. Just, it's not always about struggling in the physical. It's more so, no matter what, maintaining your peace. So if that means running to scripture, running to prayer, running to a hot bath, running to walk your dog, running to take a motorcycle ride, taking your car camping out in the middle of nowhere 2 or 3 days, whatever you need to do to make sure that you can maintain an appropriate level of peace. That's the key. Because this world is wicked, and the righteous are only going to get so far in this wicked world, as actually demanding that people take accountability for how they're not respecting your rights. And that's what it totally comes down to, right? It's that they take all of our rights from us, and they take all of our people from us, and they try to take all of our fun from us, and so we just, no matter what, have to really be picky and choosy on what we're going to try to pursue, document and pursue, because the system is rigged against you. And how did Jesus deal with his situation, right? What would Jesus do? He's our role model. I mean, what does he say when they say, should we pay taxes to Caesar? Show me a coin. Who's on the head of the coin? Caesar. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, give to God what is God's. Jesus tells us Paul tells us mainly to avoid complaining. So I really think the better part, the wiser path, is to just take deep breaths and say, I'm so glad I'm permitted to suffer with you, Lord. And just go, I'm going to take this one on the chin, and I'll be down a little bit tonight, but I'm going to be solid in the morning, because that's what you always do for me, Lord. You always lift me up, and I'm looking forward. Now I'm going to feel strong and happy and forgetful about what was done to me today, because tomorrow's a new day, and each day has new graces available to us. And I think that's the best advice. But I still am trained in the psychological aspect, and I know not just sitting there and taking abuse, if you're being somewhat proactive, is healthy for your psychology. So take that with a grain of salt. Take what you like, leave what you don't. God bless.